Welcome to SuperLife with me, Darren Oline, a podcast where we explore, discover, and share solutions that promote a healthier life and a better world. Together, we'll ignite possibilities, inspire change, and build sovereignty, creating a roadmap towards a super life for you and for all. Get ready to start living your super life. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is Darren Oline. This is SuperLife. This is about you having your super life. That's right. I'm going to pound that in. We want to live this life in the best way possible, don't we? We all want the same thing. We want joy. We want abundance. We want happiness. We want health. We want community. We want family. We want love. In order to do those things, you've got to take care of yourself. You've got to take agency and sovereignty over what you can do so that you're not unnecessarily suffering. Avoid those fatal conveniences. Avoid those things that you now are starting to realize may not be good for you. So now, in this episode, I want to talk about when we eat. Yeah, that's right. When we eat plays a major role into your health. This is the SuperLife's guide to meal timing. How when you eat affects things like your health, weight, sleep, and so much more. In recent years, the timing of meals have started to emerge. It's not talked about enough, but it's a powerful factor in optimizing health, metabolism, and the ability to keep weight off, especially the not good weight, right? The science is pretty freaking clear as we're going to unpack this thing. I have a lot of incredible research in the show notes. Aligning your eating schedule with your body's natural circadian rhythm, we'll unpack that a little bit, can provide you tangible, powerful benefits for weight management, metabolic health, and certainly biohacking your sleep because you're not going against what you'll find out to be a massive movement of circadian flow. So I'm going to break down the latest research and why meal timing really matters and how eating more in the morning and later at night, which is kind of the opposite. I find myself doing that too in times. That eating later at night and packing your meals in and your calories earlier in the day can support your body's rhythms for optimal wellness. Okay, so the role of the circadian rhythm in meal timing. Our bodies operate on a natural circadian rhythm, a 24-hour cycle that influences everything. Certainly your sleep, your hormones, which is the operating system of the body, when things are released, your digestion, and your metabolism, which is the gateway of producing energy all throughout the body. Eating in sync with this rhythm can enhance metabolic health like almost no other. Studies suggest that eating earlier in the day, when our bodies are more primed for food intake, and it shows there's a great study in 2017 that I have in the show notes. It allows for better glucose tolerance and increased fat oxidation, both critical for maintaining a healthy weight and metabolic profile. And the research is amazing when it comes to this, I'm telling you. Your body's internal clock, it is present in almost, if not every cell and every organ. It works together in harmony and is governed by the central master clock in the brain's supraclimactic nucleus, the SCN. This master clock synchronizes our peripheral clocks across various body systems. ensuring optimal coordination in what? Metabolism, energy use, where to send hormones, how to regulate stress, parasympathetic, sympathetic responses, even cell repair. So when this SCN itself is directly influenced by external cues. By what? Sunlight. That's right. And electromagnetic fields of the earth, of the sun, and all of the natural electromagnetic fields that occur. So this allows and signals these biological processes with the solar day. Now, this is light, frequency, magnetics that's coming from the sun, photons, protons, neutrons, all of this stuff, plus the Schumann resonance of the earth, the electromagnetic pulse of the earth. That's also why grounding is great. And getting morning light, setting your clock. Side note, when we've created artificial light and we're staring at it after the sun goes down, it's throwing off our clock. Staying up too late, and you're going to find out eating too late. It's a really bad idea. So this body's circadian system operates as a highly integrated network of cellular clocks. So it's this overall clock, but every cell has its own clock that controls the vast range of metabolic processes. In addition to responding to light, these clocks adapt to feeding times and temperature shifts and facilitating processes like insulin release, fat oxidation, and cell proliferation. So again, the body's listening and the body's receiving. We cannot disconnect ourselves from the sun, from the earth, and even from ourselves or other people. The body is constantly listening, receiving, and changing itself based on the inputs. And this is affecting rhythms. This is affecting metabolism. This is affecting sleep. This is affecting all processes of the body. The circadian rhythm is so powerful. It also allows for organs like the liver, pancreas, and even muscles to regulate the metabolism independently, with each having specific oscillations that are tied to these functions, that are tied to the circadian flow. For instance, the pancreatic isolates have their own circadian rhythm that influences insulin release, directly linking the timing of meals with glucose regulation. So, there are studies to show that you can be eating exactly the same calories, but just front-loading it in the morning or ending your day with the same food, same calories. Guess what? You do not regulate it the same. It is showing that insulin sensitivity is down at night, so your body's ability to regulate insulin is off. Your body's ability to oxidize fat is off at night, and also it throws off your sleep rhythm. There is so much going on with the timing of eating. Disruptions in this synchronized clock and clocks throughout the body often are due to this irregular light exposure. With the modern lifestyle, the fatal convenience of turning on light switches and this late night eating combined has shown that it leads to metabolic disorders such as obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. There are some links there. This misalignment can not only impair the natural cellular and organ functions, but it can also impact everything from fat storage to immune responses. An incredible study an incredible study done in 2014. This study also showed that it increased evidence linking circadian health to various aspects of well-being, supporting these rhythms through meal timing and exposure to natural light can be a simple yet very powerful way to optimize your overall health. So if you take away anything, we're going to challenge you to light exposure and food and meal timing. You can switch up this whole thing and follow what we're going to conclude here, and it can make a massive change in your life. So, morning calories, supporting the metabolism and weight loss. Eating the majority shows up in the blue zones with Dan Buettner and what he had found with most of the longevity research. It also showed up here. Eating the majority of your calories in the morning and tapering off in the evening can significantly influence weight loss and metabolic health. A study conducted in a Mediterranean population found that individuals who ate their main meals earlier in the day lost more weight than those who ate it later, having exactly the same meals and calories. And the diet was completely the same. It's just the timing. Another study noted that consuming a larger breakfast and smaller dinner helped in managing body weight and fat accumulation, supporting the role of early calorie intake in weight control. There are a lot of studies pointing to this very thing. Here, we'll just mention the impact of late night eating on metabolism. I don't understand. If you go to New York, if you go to the East Coast, so many people eat so late and they stay up. They're, having a meal at 9 p.m., 10 p.m., going to sleep at midnight 1. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. I'm not into it. Socially, I'm going to show up and I'm going to leave, but I have already eaten. Thank you very much. This is what I do, right? I just don't put myself into those scenarios that often at all. And if anything, if I'm going to a party, if I'm going to someplace and it has food, I don't care. I'm eating ahead of time. So I'm not dependent or hungry on anything that throws my whole body off. Then I'm up late and it throws me off. I wake up with a headache like I'm hungover. Late night eating disrupts the body's natural metabolic state, often leading to weight gain, impaired glucose metabolism. So just by eating late, you're actually affecting your ability to upregulate and regulate your insulin support and your glucose metabolism. Delayed eating patterns have shown to increase glucose levels and reduce fat oxidation during sleep, setting the stage for insulin resistance and higher body fat percentages. It's a great study from 2019. Consuming meals, another study showed that consuming meals closer to bedtime had linked to slower weight loss, particularly in evening, who are more prone to eating later. The people who are more prone to eating later had harder time getting rid of weight because it's disrupting this whole system. You're going against all of the universe in a certain sense. You're going, the sun, the moon, the tides, the circadian rhythm that is way beyond your brain thinking I need to follow some fad diet. If you're not in these natural, normal, powerful rhythms, I don't care what biohack you're trying to do. We have to go back to in order to move forward. Understanding our modern day world and understanding these deep clocks and circadian rhythms and understanding the basic functions of your body. This is as basic as it gets. There are clocks in the body that support you or don't support you based on when you're choosing to eat. Circadian driven meal timing. This affects energy and sleep quality. Aligning meal times with the body's circadian rhythm may not only enhance your metabolic health, but also improve sleep quality. Time-restricted eating, which involves limited food intake to earlier hours in the day, has shown promise in promoting weight loss, reducing nighttime cravings, and improving sleep patterns. There's so many studies. When food intake is restricted to early hours, the body's natural circadian signals, such as melatonin and cortisol rhythms, remain stable. So when you're eating the majority of your calories in the first part of the day, it supports your natural melatonin, so you're going to sleep better. It lowers your cortisol. It improves stability and support of your sleep and overall energy metabolism. Look up the studies. Look up the research. It goes on and on. So now I want to also support this idea with two of potentially the longest, oldest, holistic health systems that we know of. One is Ayurveda, and the other is traditional Chinese medicine. I was so curious, so I needed to dig into the research. What are they saying? So Ayurveda, I looked into this years and years ago. Some people say it's over 20,000 years old. Traditional Chinese medicine say it's over 10. These are old. They've been around a lot longer than we think we're it, right? We think our lab coats and our science is so advanced. Just check yourself, right? So we have some very old holistic systems here. So Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine has absolutely recognized the importance of meal timing and maintaining health of the metabolic conditions for centuries. Both systems have highly regarded the synchronistic and each system has acknowledged this synchronized eating pattern of our circadian rhythm. Ayurveda says that meal timing is essential for maintaining the doshas. The doshas, you can look it up. There's Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. These are different and you can be both. You can be a part of one, part of the other, but it's basically your constitution. It's very powerful. When you eat more towards your constitution, it can really provide a lot of benefit. So Ayurveda is a very powerful tool. But they all believe that everyone, whether you're a Vata, Pitta, or Kapha, aligning with their circadian rhythm is supported by all of them. Ayurveda emphasizes the importance of main meals during midday, and they call that the digestive fire. After the midday, your fire for metabolism goes down. So again, it's the when you wake up, your metabolism starts to climb. It starts to climb, get at its peak around midday, noon, and starts to drop off significantly after 2 p.m. So if you're even all of this intermittent fasting, people don't eat until like noon or 1, you've just blown past all of the digestive fire. Even though you've calorie restricted and you get weight loss, you're still going against natural rhythms, the circadian. So you want to do it the opposite from my perspective. Eat in the morning, throughout the day, taper off, and then maybe have your last meal. I know it's not socially responsible, but have a light meal at like 4 or 5. But largely, we're just in our own houses. We're not going out to eat every day. You can control a lot. So the Ayurveda shows, and there's a great great research in 2012 showing this, that eating with alignment to these cycles avoids metabolic disorders, late night eating, considering it is very disturbing to the dosha's balance and increase metabolic stress. This is from, potentially 20,000 years of understanding the human condition of health. And they're saying exactly the same thing that we're finding here in the science. Traditional Chinese medicine, meal timing is closely linked to the flow of qi throughout the body's organs, and each associated with different times of the day. So traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, recommends eating the larger meals in the morning and midday, because that's when the organs of digestion, the stomach, the gallbladder, the pancreas, all have the qi. They have the energy. From Ayurveda, they have the Angni, I think they call it, the fire. So again, there's more spleen activity, stomach activity, bile activity, digestive activity in the early part of the day, while light meals in the evening reduce the strain on the digestive system. So again, traditional Chinese medicine shows that such practices will maintain and balance the metabolism and prevent metabolic diseases. Heart disease, diabetes, high cholesterol, all these things, because the body is more efficient at the basis of its metabolic processes. And you'll lose weight. And then the research shows that you'll lose weight easier. So both Ayurvedic and traditional Chinese medicine principles are increasingly supportive of this modern day research, because they already had it figured out. In fact, the modern day research is supporting what they're saying. So traditional meal timing practices and these systems align with the findings that we have in our modern day research. I love it when they line up. So what's our takeaway? Eat a hearty breakfast. Prioritize your largest meal in the morning. Again, you might say, I'm not hungry. Well, you've trained yourself that way, right? You've trained yourself to, I wake up, I maybe fast, or I just drink my coffee, and you blow past all of those natural signals. You've trained yourself. You've trained your microbes to digest only what you're shoveling in your mouth. The body is so adaptive, and it doesn't mean that what you're doing is correct. This is not medical advice, but this is very powerful, basic, supportive information here that is almost one of the most basic. Meal timing is everything. And it doesn't even matter what you're eating. It matters less what you're eating. Still eat high quality. But if you're eating high quality stuff and backloading it to the end of the day, you're not even going to receive the nutrients in the same way. Next one, have a moderate lunch and a light dinner. It's that simple. Shift the bulk of your calories to earlier in the day and aim for a lighter dinner. Ideally, finish your last meal at least 3 hours before your bedtime. Stop the snacking, all of that. And the late night snacks, you're only going to really want those because you've created a condition where maybe you're reaching for sugar and your microbes are wanting that sugar because you've created that scenario, or that you didn't eat enough during the front part of the day and that your body is behind. So there's cravings there. Or your empty calories, or your ultra processed food. You're not getting the leptin and ghrelin mechanisms to then be satiated. Quality food. So that's it. Eat breakfast like a king, lunch like I don't know what they say, but eat breakfast like a king, eat lunch, like a moderate lunch, and then you've taken the majority, maybe 70% of your calories, 70 to 80% of your calories, and then have a light dinner, and you'll feel great. I know when I do it, I don't always do it, and I'm going to use all this research. I'm just like, oh my God, I got to do even better. I feel so much better not going to sleep, even though on average I'm 2 hours at least from when I finished eating to when I go to sleep. But I still feel so much better with my stomach rested before I go to sleep. Okay, that's it. These are powerful. This is your new SuperLife protocol. Do your best. Forget the rest. Don't give yourself a hard time. But if you can do a few days, try a couple days where you're like, okay, I'm going to try to eat in the morning. And, don't shock your system and try to eat 12 pancakes or whatever, healthy pancakes. You know what I'm saying? So be gentle on yourself and help reorient your body to eating majority of your calories before you start the day. Okay? And work out the timing of your workouts, and if you need to wake up a little early to do that because you're not including food into your morning, whatever you need to do. Hell, make a smoothie. Make a big, amazing spirulina. I throw Shakeology in, Barucha nuts. I love fruit. I load it up. So you can do things really quick. Overnight oats are fantastic. Easy preparations, but it's preparation that's going to help integrate you into your own circadian rhythm flow. Find your circadian rhythm flow, find your SuperLife flow, and man, when you follow the flow of nature, you're not pushing a boulder uphill. Weight falls off, energy comes back, and who knows what else is possible after that. All right. Peace. I love you.